Hello, and welcome back to Invitation to Puzzles. Today we have a thermo puzzle. And so that is these gray things in the grid. And the way that thermometers work is that you have to put the digits in them in order from the smallest digit in the circle and then increasing strictly with each one. So just to sort of show you, we could do something like 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, for example. That is in order. This is supposed to be thought of as like a thermometer where the mercury is in the bulb. So the lower down the thermometer it is, the colder it is, the higher up the mercury is, the hotter it is. And so that is how we can interpret these clues. I have a link down in the description if you want to try the puzzle. And let's go ahead and give it a try. Uh, so we could, if you wanted, sort of actually put some restrictions in terms of what digits could actually go on one of these. I don't necessarily recommend doing this because I think it'll make the grid a whole mess, but just to show you, if you want to think about it, like this can't actually be anything it wants to be. Sort of at minimum, this can be a 6 because I have to have 5 digits less than it along here. And similarly, this can't be any higher than a 4 because there have to be 5 digits bigger. And if you want to sort of do this all at once for the whole thermo, this is usually called Goodliffing after the respectable Mark Goodliff. What you can do is you can take the first cell and write in the smallest digit, and then go forwards along writing the smallest digit. And so, of course, if this is smallest digit 1, then this is smallest digit 2, and so on. If you have given digits or whatever, it might be the case that like this is not smallest digit 1, for example. In which case various other things happen, but we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll go backwards with the highest digit. So this could be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then you can just fill in the digits in between. And so that will give you marks for every cell along the thermo of what they could be that sort of take into account this, like this one has to have 2 digits that it's bigger than, but it has to have 3 digits that it's smaller than. And so that sort of tells you that it can be this. And so usually in the absence of all else, what you'll find is that you'll end up with sort of the same number of digits along each cell. But as soon as you start getting a little bit more information, it can make life difficult. Okay. So whenever you have a thermo, it's worth noting that sort of the digits far along, those are the ones that have to be big. So like all of these are at least 4. And so these numbers are all relatively big. So I do have to put 1, 2, and 3 in this row, and they have to go in these cells. And actually, these can't be 1, 2, or 3 either. So I actually have all of 1, 2, and 3 within this row, only in these 4 cells. But actually, I can do better than that if I think specifically about the digit 3, because the digit 3 can't go over here either. So the digit 3 absolutely has to go here, because that's the only digit that it can go in this row. Let me turn on the row column labels just in case. But this 3 is, in fact, once you take into account the thermos, this 3 is a hidden single within row 3. Now, if you look, there's only one way this cell can be a 3, which is if this is a 2 and this is a 1. Because we have to, again, strictly increase. So the third lowest digit is a 3. That means the second has to be a 2, and the lowest has to be a 1. Okay. That's actually quite impactful on this thermo now, because if I do what I did down here now on this thermo, it's going to be more exciting. And the reason for that is that I've now ruled 1 and 2 out of the bulb. So actually, when I start the same process, I'll fill in the smallest digit going up, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the largest digit going down, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. What we actually see is that we have this, we have only 2 values that each of these things could be. Okay. So let's have a look at what else we can do. This is at least 6. Uh, well, here's one thing that we can notice is that this digit can't be 6. And this is the kind of thing you learn to scan for eventually if you do enough Thermo puzzles. Namely, if this was a 6, that would force this to also be a 5. Well, that would make this cell impossible. So this can't be as small as 6. Now, I don't think that really trickles down in any meaningful way. Unfortunately, that's sort of the wrong direction for us to get a really big effect. But we can look at that kind of thing. Okay. We can also do things like notice, okay, these digits are all big. These digits are all relatively big. There's certainly at least 2. So like the 1 is actually corner marked in these cells if you actually look at this box. There's nowhere else I can put a 1. And so that together with this 1 actually lets us look at where 1 goes up in box 2. And it can't go 5th along a thermo. It can't go in a row with a given 1. So we can actually place this 1 here. And so that tells us for sure that this 1 goes in one of those cells. Now, we did note that the 2 goes in one of these cells as well. I'm not sure if that's immediately going to be useful. Okay, so here's a good point to notice. So I was actually noticing I had a sort of quadruple in this column, but it's actually even better than a quadruple. If I actually think about what this can be. So I thought, okay, this is a length 6 thermo, so this number has to be at least 6. And so that's going to give me a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. But the given 1 actually tells me that, in fact, if I look at it, this digit's actually at least 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be the minimum. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Like that. So in fact, this is at least 7. And so that's actually a 7, 8, 9 triple, which actually gives us our first digit, which is that this digit is a 6, which is then going to make that a 5 and a 4 and a 3. Those are a 7, 8, 9. So that's no longer able to be a 6. These two can't be 5. And so forth. Okay. So these numbers here are all, just for the record, these are all 6, 7, 8, 9. Neither of those is 6. So one of these is 6. Those two weren't 6 because of the confluence of these two 6s. So one of these two is 6, which then tells me if I look down with that one of these two is definitely 6. And so if one of these two has to be 6, this one definitely can't be 7, because if this was 7, these would both be at least 7. So this is 4 or 6. Fortunately, that doesn't immediately, I think, tell me anything about that cell, but we'll get there. Let's see. Can I do anything with 6 in this box? Not quite. Oh yeah, I can sort of corner mark 3 in one of these cells. That's fine. And I can actually, it's probably actually worth filling in the rest of this column, because this is from 2, 3, 4, 5 is all that's left in this column. And that does a little bit more in a similar vein to my comment about this not being able to be 5 or 6 earlier. If this is 5 now, that actually doesn't work, because if this digit is 5, then this has got to be 5, 4, 3, 2, which breaks that cell. So I actually need to fit sort of like one extra gap, basically, along the thermo. I need a place, basically, I need to skip a digit somewhere because I need to skip this digit. Okay, and notice that trickles up because now that this can't be a 5, this can't be a 6, and that can't be a 7. which makes those an 8-9 pair and places the 7 along the thermo. Let's see. Okay, so we've got those. This digit can't be a 4 anymore. That's actually quite important. This digit C is a 4 by Sudoku, so this digit's actually at least 5. So this digit's at least 6, and in fact at least 7 actually. And so this digit's at least 8. And then the maximum here would be 8. The maximum here would be 7. I can't actually fill in a 6 here. So actually everything here is actually forcing that to be the 6. Basically 6 was in one of two places, and this 4 actually dislodged me from being able to put a 6 there. That does give me an 8-9 pair in this row, which places a 7 there, which makes that a 5. And also, we have a 7-8 pair in this row, which makes that a 9 and that a 6. Let's see, that trickles through there. Okay, so now this is at most 5, and so this now can't be a 5. That now can't be a 4, for what it's worth. Okay, I know there's an 8 along this row just by Sudoku, and that 8 can't go any further in than that. I can certainly mark. Actually, I should probably mark what these 3 digits actually are. That would be really smart. These are 1, 2, and 4. Just even by Sudoku, ignoring the thermo. But then when I take into account the thermo, that means this one can't be 4, and that one can't be 1. Okay, so now if I look at this, now let's sort of continue our process of let's sort of mark this, because I'm noticing, I'm not just going to mark it when there's a bajillion possibilities, but notice now this digit is at least 3, but actually because of the given 3, this digit's at least 4, so we're going to go 4, 5, and now this digit is not 6 or 7, so this digit is at least 8. Well, it's also at most 8, so therefore this digit is an 8, and that digit is a 9. And so now if I go backwards, this digit has to be a 5 because it's the only thing left. Now this digit is at most 4, but it's also at least 4. And so then we can do our 2, 1, and 4 in like that. Let's see, that gives me a pair over here. Those digits seem to be 2 and 4. Let's see. Okay, so we've got a lot of low digits in this column, actually. In fact, actually, if we look at it, we can actually place we can kind of place the 6, 7 in this. In fact, actually, let me make it easier. This is a 2, 3, 4, 5 quadruple, so this is the last digit, it's a 7. I was looking at it as where's the 7 in this column, but that works too. Now where's the 6 in this column? Well, the 6 in this column now has no choice but to be there because there's already a 6 in that box. I guess I could have just lined up those 6s and done it that way too. So that digit is definitely a 6. These are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple. So these are one of each of those digits. So therefore, these are just 7, 8, 9. Looking up. So yeah, one of these two. Right. One of these two is now 9 for this column, and it's not the one with a 9 in the row. So the 9's actually placed in this column. And so this digit is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's not a 2 or a 4. So this is a 1. I meant that to be a 1, 3, 5. Oh, yeah, let's do it this way. There's always a bunch of different ways to do everything, but the hidden way is fun. Where's the 2 in this column? Well, neither of those can be 2. And these 2 can't be 2 because of the 2, 4 pair. So, in fact, the only place in this column that can be 2 is there. So that's a 2 and that's a 4. Okay, so these are 1, 3, 5, I guess, to wrap up the box. And that one we know isn't 5. It's a 1 or a 3. I am a little interested in this thermo that I haven't really looked at yet. So if I minimize this, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I maximize it, it'll be 9, 8. And then this can't actually be 7 or 6. So 5 is actually the maximum here, which makes 4 the maximum here, which makes 3 the maximum here, which makes 2 the maximum here. And so the only cells that I have any wiggle room on past those are those. This one can't actually be 8. Okay, and so this is the remaining 2, 3, 4, 5, which is just a 2 or a 4, I believe, if I want to look at this box. I'm noticing actually there's some Sudoku happening, which I wasn't strictly speaking expecting, which is that this digit's only able to be 7, 8, or 9 just by the digits it sees. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, it's much simpler. I have 2 5s looking into this box. Where does the 5 go? There we go. So yeah, the 5 in this box always goes there. Because it needs to go in one of those cells, and that's the only one available. So now that this can't be 5, this can't be 6, so it's 7 or 9. Those can't be 5 anymore. And now, as a result, this one is less than that. In fact, actually, now we've got a 2, 3 pair in the column, so that's just a 1. Okay, and the 2, 3 pair also makes that digit a 5. Oh, now that's a 1, 3 pair that looks up at that cell. So that's a 4 and that's a 5. So now the point that I was going to make before is relevant. This is assuredly overkill, but I like it. This 2, 3, 4, 5 now have to go in this box. Where do they go? Well, not in any of those cells. So these need to be 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly, which means that's not able to be a 1, because then I couldn't fit. If this is a 1, I now only have 3 spaces in the box that can be 2, 3, 4, or 5. So that has to be a 2. These are a 3, 4, 5 triple, making that a 3 and that a 4, which makes that a 6. Now, this can't be 6 anymore, so now this is not able to be 7, so it's a 9. Now this is at least a 7, so that can't be 7 anymore. This is now an 8 or a 9. Okay, and so that has made that up there a 2. That 3, 5 pair looks across and makes that a 2. Oh, by the way, this 3, 5 pair also makes that a 4. Makes that a 5, 3, 4. Go in 2, 3. Okay, these are 4, 8, and 9. And the 4 is placed, Sven is telling me, because that 4 sees that one, and this 4 sees that one, so that's the 4. Those are an 8, 9 pair, so that's a 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these are a 6 and an 8, 9. That one can't be an 8 or a 9, so it's a 6. So this is an 8 or a 9, and it's not a 9, so it's an 8. So we can go 8, 9, 8 like that. So that's a 7. That's a 9. It's an 8, 7, 9. Okay, so these digits across the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a 5, 7, and 9, it looks like. That one is the 5. That one's the 7. That one's the 9. That's the 3, and that's the 5. These digits left in this box are still a 1, a 2, and an 8. So that one is only the 8. And so that gives us all of those, the 1 and the 2. That's an 8. That's a 6. That's a 1. See, looking at this column, that's a 7. Let's see. One of these needs to be a 3, and the other one needs to be the thing that's going to tell me how this column works out, which is a 2. So that's the 3, and that's the 2. Sorting out the 1 and the 3 over there. One of these is a 1, and it's that one, and one of these is a 6, and it is that one. Alrighty, well, I hope you enjoyed this puzzle. Hopefully you are having a good time with the various puzzles we feature on this, and I'll see you all next time on Invitation to Puzzles. Do please leave a comment, like the video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.